go then. Big day for Burnley Football Club in their bid to reach the Premier League, beat Sheffield United, and themselves and Leeds will qualify. So a big day for Scott Parker, whose team are 30 undefeated and haven't lost in the second half of the season so far. They haven't lost, in fact, since November when Millwall beat them 1-0 at the Den. What a big opportunity this really is for Burnley now. Less than a year after that heartbreaking defeat at Tottenham Hotspur, which relegated us from the Premier League. Burnley have gone with Hannibal just in behind the main striker, which is Liam Fleming. There is no Ralph Foster through injury, but it's a team that really picks itself. What a difference Marcus Edwards has made on the right hand side of midfield, and hasn't Jadon Anthony had a good few games as well. Our opponents, Sheffield United, well, some very big names in that side. You look at Brent Brereton Diaz, Jack Robinson, Hamza Chowdhury and Gustavo Harmer, who have played Premier League football. Tom Cannon will be one to watch as well, and Kiefer Moore. They're going to go with those two up front. Raksaki and the likes of Brewster Campbell and Raksaki and Callum O'Hare could be dangerous if Wilder decides to use them off the bench. Liam Fleming has chipped in with a few goals. Josh Brownhill is still the top scorer with 13. Burnley know what they need to do. The Clarets know what they need to do this afternoon. Can they do it? Josh Brownhill and Jack Robinson out in the middle. That's in the point toss. Liam Fleming. If Burnley are promoted, there is a trigger that Fleming will sign permanently next season from Millwall. Not available to take on Millwall in the last game of the season. Incidentally, before then they've got a trip to QPR to negotiate. Don't want to be going into that now, having needed points. So this really is a big day for Burnley Football Club in the true sense of the word. Sheffield United in an all-cream strip today. Well, they've had a massive implosion, out of the last 4 games they've been beaten 3 times. One notably at Plymouth when Wilder caused a lot of trouble in the tunnel after the game. And the onus is on referee David Webb to really keep a good lid on things and referee this sensibly and properly. But it's Sheffield United who are about to kick off, and they're going to attack the Jimmy McElroy stand to my left. Burnley need, I tell you, in those famous claret and blue shirts. This really is. It's a true promotion 6-pointer. Burnley win, them and Leeds go up automatically. If Sheffield United win, the gap will be 2 points. So there's a lot riding on this for both teams. There is for sure. Sheffield United get us underway now in those cream shirts. And it really will be a test of Burnley's nerve here today. If they can hold it out and keep that defence solid. But wait a minute, here's Kiefer Moore in the opening stages, turns and hits it straight at Trafford. Thankfully from a Burnley point of view, a little bit slack in that Burnley defence, I thought there. Maybe the nerves of the day has just got to 1 or 2 of the men in claret and blue. Definitely onside as that ball was played. Ball in into Kiefer Moore, turned nicely, but hit it straight at Trafford. This is Anthony. Challenged there by Hamza Chowdhury. This is Roberts. Marcus Edwards, who's certainly come on leaps and bounds in this second half of the season since joining. And that was Hannibal right in there. And in fact, he's straight offside, and a free kick to Sheffield United. Going to be a tense day, there's no doubt about that. Chris Wilder and Scott Parker know that. But how cool has he been this season, Scott Parker? He's a very astute manager, very different in style to our last manager, Vincent Kompany. He was very open, was always attack-minded. Just didn't have the personnel last year in the Premier League to do the football he wanted to do. And Parker's toughened the back 4 up especially. And look, I mean, 28, 29 clean sheets this season. That's something not to be sniffed at, is it really? And he almost conceded inside the first minute with keeper Moore there. Very physical player, very tall player. CJ Egan-Riley and Maxime Esteve, who, for my money, has been one of the Clarets players of the season. We'll have to be wary of all the time, and of course Tommy Cannon as well. Hasn't scored yet since he's moved from Stoke City. Movers have knocked out of play, maybe a bit of nervous tension in the air. It's going to be in this opening 2 minutes, opening few minutes. And it's really, the onus is on Burnley to really try and take the game to Sheffield United if they can. Ramsey Childbury with the throw. On loan from Leicester City, who've just been relegated from the Premier League, and Burnley looking to take their place in the Premier League next season. Free kick against Gus Harmer. And the skipper Josh Brownhill being told by referee Webb to take it from the correct distance, in which he does, but Scott Parker knows this is going to be a tough old test. Robinson with a throw for Sheffield United. He's the captain for the Blades, Jack Robinson. Roberts forward, 6 minutes gone here at the turf. Burnley 0, Sheffield United 0. Oh, mistake almost there by Perez. Bit up and underish, and this could lead to a chance here for Sheffield United. And in fact, they're going to get a corner out of that, by the looks of it. Yeah, despite the best efforts there by Lucas Perez to try and stop it from going behind. Everton Diaz got a little bit fortunate there, it must be said. This is where the big men will be a problem for Burnley, for the Clarets coming forward. Not going to be easy. Some big odds in there, Sheffield United, no doubt about that. Into the penalty area, headed out more or less, and then the shot back in, deflected away, and then back in again. It was I think it was Peck with the shot in the end. Burnley starting very nervously. This is a big game. Going to be a lot of Claret supporters dying a few deaths here this afternoon with the nerves and the tension that goes with it. In fact, it was Burrows with the shot. Trafford's kick. Browner. Looking to get Anthony away on the far side. Hannibal's there too. This is Hannibal. And again. Anthony, good play this from Burnley. Cross comes in. And they're out. And then the volley. Oh, and Fleming can't get in there. And it's been smuggled wide. Real opportunity there for the Clarets. Best yet they've produced or fashioned as an attacking force. Really good overlapping play. And the cross came in, and Fleming just didn't get good contact. There may have been a slight deflection there, which made the chance awkward for Zian Fleming. A presentable chance. Halfway through a very nervy first half here for both Burnley and Sheffield United. Sheffield United come away with the ball now. Oh, what a challenge that was from Zian Fleming, and now Brownhill. Oh, that's got to be a yellow card for Harmer. It has to be a yellow card, Mr. Webb. Well, Mr. Webb, it is. I should think so too. It was a nasty challenge, but let's give credit to and respect to Zian Fleming there. Sheffield United were getting away, and then Fleming, like lightning, it was almost a throwback to the Tony Adams days here. Great challenge on, I think it was Tom Cannon, real Tony Adams style tackle there, and then Harmer there with a professional power in anyone's language. He just absolutely hacked out at Brownhill when he really had no need to, and quite rightly Mr. Webb gave him the yellow card, and I don't think there's any argument about that. So Harmer in the book, Burnley have a set play, and what an opportunity now for the Clarets. Perez and Roberts, you fancy, will be the two-man committee over this. He's obviously too far out for a shot. One suspects he's going to go short. Cullen now into the path of Roberts. He'll take on his defender here, and he'll beat him and give him the slip. The ball breaks for Cullen. Save and in. It's Josh Brownell. And the Clarets in a game they so desperately want to win on such a big day are leading. And they needed a goal. He Mulway's the one. No elation yet from Scott Parker, but the Clarets fans believe. Every Claret in the stadium believes. Josh Brownhill raises the fists, and Burnley take the lead. Hey, that's it. A captain's goal. It was from the short free kick, cleverly done by Connor Roberts and Josh Cohen. Then the ball played in. It was a lucky bounce, but it came to Cohen nicely. He struck it superbly with his right foot. Good save from Cooper, but he couldn't stop the rebound. And Josh Cullen registers goal number 14 of the season. And Burnley, in the biggest game of the season, take the lead in a game they have to win if they're going to take promotion back to the Premier League. Josh Cullen with the first effort. Brownhill, poacher extraordinaire. And Burnley take the lead after 28 minutes. And with Burnley's clean sheet record, you would fancy them now to try and keep it now, but here is Armour over the top. And Estevi's got to be careful, and Estevi's there, and he's done brilliantly. He did brilliantly because Tommy Cannon had got him round the back. Burnley have kept possession rather well. That's surely going to be a foul there. The referee didn't want to know. That looked a clear foul there. Cullen battling it for it on the far side with Brereton Diaz, but they have won the free kick eventually, but it looked, I think Hannibal was the player that was chopped down in the end. And this is Josh Cullen and Josh Brownhill here. This is the goal again. Great skill from Edwards. Good ball in. Sheffield United make a complete mess of clearing it. Cole with the first effort, and in came Brownhill to finish the job off. And Burnley take the lead. And you could say Turpmore is buzzing. One ball over the top here, and danger. Oh, well played. It was that man again, Esteve. For my money, he's been the Clarets player of the season for me. Kiefer Moore looks as if he's in here. CJ just does enough, and it allows Esteve to come and cover. And cover he did. I must admit, Kiefer Moore did push into him a bit, but no matter. Corner to Sheffield United. This really is the acid test now. It's been pulled back. Danger here, deflected, and it was Gus Harmer's shot. Another corner to Sheffield United. Burnley. The Clarets, as you can see, are under the cosh. There's a player down there injured. Looks like Jaden Anthony to me. Looks like he's took one in the old meat and five veg. Sweating pain for the Burnley cause in a bid and a quest to win promotion back to the big time, where Burnley really do feel they belong. Another corner, short to Harmer. Now there could be problems. Shot comes in, and another shot came in, and it was deflected away. It was Ahmed Olic with a shot there, and another shot coming in, and well fielded again. It was that man again, Harmer. He does have a reputation for, he's in the spectacular. I saw him last year in the Premier League score a cracking goal for Sheffield United against Forest, but he wasn't going to beat Trafford from there. 10 minutes to half-time. As things stand, it's looking good for Burnley and for Leeds United. If Burnley win, then Leeds go up. Remember, Leeds won 6-0 earlier today, and it was 5-0 at half-time. They were so ruthless against the Stoke side who just didn't know what hit them. It's not going to be easy for the Clarets today, admittedly, because Sheffield United are not going to give up. We know that. Burnley have just got to be quiet. Now they might have a chance. Fleming coming forward. Hannibal's there. Oh, that looked a foul there by Vinicius Souza. I must admit, Vinicius Souza took him out there, but the referees allowed it to go on, and there will be uproar if Burnley concede here. Burrows, Harmer. Burrows again. Harmer. Souza. His foul started it. It looked a foul, but here's a problem. It could be a problem. Oh, it's 1-1. Disaster. It's Tom Cannon. And that's his first goal for Sheffield United. But should there have been a free kick down the other end when, for my money, Vinny Souza took out one of the Burnley players, and I think it was Hannibal. Absolutely went right through him. Should have been a free kick down the other end, but referee Webb allowed it to go on. And he wasn't offside neither. Oh, that's a major blow for the Clarets. Nothing that changed Trafford, who's been absolutely superb in the Burnley goal all season long, could really have done about that. And to give Cannon his fair dues, he's hit it in the one place that Trafford was never going to get anywhere near. But Burnley, for my money, should have had a free kick. So a little bit of rough justice there, but you can't legislate for the finish on Tom Cannon. Not a lot that Trafford could do about that. And that was the familiar figure of Ollie Arblaster, the Sheffield United player who's in amongst the fans. So 1-1 now. Unfortunately, it's all to play for. And the table now looks like this. It's now back to 5 points. It's as you were. Burnley has been stand, will not be promoted today. That's a good ball, and Fleming through. That's surely a penalty. That has to be a penalty. It isn't. David Webb. There was definitely contact there, but David Webb has waved that away. It'll be interesting to see the replay to see how much contact there really was. But that looked to me a stonewall penalty. Here's Anthony, challenged by Chowdhury. Fleming is furious. Now let's have a look. And Medodjic is the defender. He's touched him. It's a penalty every day of the week. And that's not dissimilar to the one Sunderland got back in January when CJ Egan-Riley was penalised for exactly the same foul. Ridiculous. Anyway, Burnley have just got to put this injustice aside. Another corner one, but Burnley should have had a penalty. As Lucas Pires tries to drum up the crowd here. And Brownell is leading the protests. There's understandable fury. There's so much riding on it. So much riding on it, and if the referee gets a decision like that wrong, then why is he refereeing the game? 4 minutes to half time. Burnley have a corner. Short to Perez. This has to be tossed into the area. No. Perez is turning, and turning he went, but he ran down the cul-de-sac. Chowdhury made sure that was the case. Well, that's a real blow there. Burnley should have had a penalty. There's the ball knocked in there. Here's Hannibal. Oh, that's surely a penalty! And this time David Webb does point to the spot. And Burnley get their just desserts. And what they should have had about 2 minutes prior. If the referee got it badly wrong the first time, he certainly got it right the second. Definite foul on Hannibal. And Ahmedhodzic should be booked for this because it was a clear and obvious foul. It was a high tackle as well. And I'm amazed David Webb has not got the book out for him. There is no excusing that challenge. That was high, it was stupid, and could have injured the player. It's a definite penalty. Hannibal was cleaned right out by Ahmedhodzic, who should be being booked really by Mr. Webb, but he isn't. And now Sheffield United, I think, are trying to scuff up the penalty spot. Now, why do professionals try and do that? It really winds me up as a commentator when you see other professionals trying to scuff up the penalty spot. Fleming has passed it now since on to Josh Brownhill. Now Sheffield United, I don't know whether it's gamesmanship from Vinny Souza, but it's completely bang out of order. The ball's on the whitewash, and it looks legal enough to me. It's on the edge of the spot, but it's on the spot. And Robinson and Cannon might do too well to shut up at this point, because they've got no cause for complaint. The ball is definitely on the whitewash, and they're trying to influence the referee. They're trying to put Brownhill off, and I think that's a disgrace from their point of view. But what it does do is give Josh Brownhill the chance to get his 15th of the season and to crucially put Burnley into the lead. Big moment in the season for Burnley. Brownhill scores! Brownhill scores! And Burnley go ahead by 2-1. The captain taking responsibility, and the captain stepping up and being counted on the biggest day of them all. Burnley are back on course for promotion. Josh Brownhill. Well, if you want an example of what a captain should be, that's your man in the picture. That is your man in the picture, not him. Josh Brownhill. Coolness personified, the coolest man in the whole house. The coolest man in all of Turf Moor sends Michael Cooper the wrong way, and Burnley for the second time go into the lead. Penny for Wilder Sports. Free kick to Burnley. We've almost played the 3 minutes here. And what a first half it has been. Ball floated in by Cullen. Oh, he picked out Edwards brilliantly. Roberts. Good chip back, and Robertson making the run, but he's going to run out of pitch. He's had a good season, Connor Roberts. Osama's just going to shut up, because if he takes him out of turn, he could well get the red card. We've played 3 minutes. All eyes on David Webb, who brings the first half to a satisfactory conclusion as far as Burnley are concerned. They took the lead through Josh Brownhill midway through the first half. Then 10 minutes from half-time, the equalising goal from Tom Cannon. But should Burnley have had a free kick down the other end a minute or two before, it didn't matter. They should have had a penalty when Fleming was tripped. Wasn't given. 2 minutes later, Hannibal was taken out, and Brownhill dispatched the penalty with a consummate of ease. Burnley in a game they have to win, are leading in it, and will now have to try and have the second half of their lives if they're going to get anything out of this. As for Chris Wilder, his team need a reaction, because really they haven't been good enough in the final third. Half-time score in a game that every claret wants to see win. Burnley are doing it, doing the business. They lead Sheffield United 2-1 at the break. Welcome back to Turf Moor for the start of the second half. Burnley to get us underway then. No changes from either side as we reconvene for the most tense 45 minutes in both Burnley and Sheffield United season. Burnley get us away then. 45 minutes, tantalisingly close to promotion. And also they could take leads up with them, and that's how big the prize is. Hannibal trying to play a 1-2 with Brownhill. Snuffed out by Sheffield United and out of play. Wow. It's so, yeah, for Burnley right now. For Scott Parker, it could be heaven. It could be hell for Chris Wilder. Now Burnley on the break here. Here's Edwards. Good chance here. Shot comes in and he deflected out. It was Hannibal. He's been terrific. The last 3 or 4 games, he has just been immense, Hannibal. Scored a couple of crucial goals in recent weeks as well, which has helped Burnley's cause somewhat. Now the likes of a Stab and CJ Egan-Riley up from the back now as the Clarets go in search of a third and possibly decisive goal with 53 minutes almost gone. Roberts' ball in, up goal ahead, and it was a Sheffield United one that met it. Chaldry only half away. Edwards back to the corner taker Roberts. He'll get a second goal. Roberts is inside the area, just behind Hannibal, and Anthony couldn't get on the end of it. And Sheffield United clear. And now Burnley are in trouble. And now it's a chance here now. And Brereton Dares is making the break and has smashed it 20 rows back. Thankfully, from a Burnley point of view, the ex-Blackburn Rovers striker did not cause any damage. In his second spell at the club, where he played a couple of years ago, keeper Moore setting it up, but in the end, from a Burnley point of view, and to every Burnley fan's vast relief and happiness, that was 20 rows back into the cricket field stand. It's a good ball played in there. Sheffield United now starting to lead the Kosh a little bit now. That's going to be a foul on Josh Brownhill. Sheffield United don't like it, but the referee was right. He was quite right. Kiefer Moore knew exactly what he was doing. And Burnley can just take their time, see this now, waste a few valuable seconds if they need to, obviously within legal means. And see this out. Claim and frustration for United some more. Edwards, good turn. Brownhill. Clarets in search of a third one, and he almost got there. Zian Fleming was waiting and lurking with intent. And it looked a foul there. In the end, it is a foul. Referee Webb has got to have his eyes in the back of his head at this point. There's much doubt about that. Chaldry. Brereton Dares. Chaldry. Oh, what hustling. What hustling from Hannibal. There just wasn't any way for Chaldry to get past him. But he has won his team a free kick, however. It's a harsh decision, really. Nevertheless, Sheffield United play on. Still 33 minutes of nervous tension for every Claret span in the land to endure. Chaldry hits it forward. Hannibal there again. Anthony there again. Burnley first to every first and second ball that's pumped in. And that's where they want it, down the other end. Robinson. And he gets it back a second time. Sheffield United need it down the other end of the field from their point of view. Remember, if they lose this match today, they know they're in the playoffs. And they're going to have to prepare well with 2 games to spare. They've got Stoke and the Bet 365 on Friday night. Maybe if Wilder does lose this game today and Sheffield United's fate is sealed, maybe he'll probably start looking to experimenting maybe giving a few other players a try to see if we can experiment with all the players, but there's still an awful long way to go yet, still a lot of football to be played. And here's Brereton Diaz, he's got through again, and what a good challenge. And that did not look a corner. I thought Burnley had kept that in, but Brereton Diaz denied again. Blanket Burnley defending at its very, very best. CJ with brilliant challenge. That never went out of play, by the way. Anthony got there. Anthony, for me, kept that in. That was never a corner in the first place. Now, Sheffield United are going to make a couple of changes. I guess they have to throw it now, throw everything and throw a few cautions to the winds. Cannon replaced by Tyrese Campbell. And we're going to see Zaki come on to replace, by the looks of it, Ben Brereton Diaz. So Wilder making some jokers in his back. Fresh legs from the bench, and the Clarets have got to be wary of that now. Just over half an hour to play. Burrows is going to take the corner for Sheffield United. Burnley, the Clarets still leading 2-1 here, within half an hour to play. Going to be nervous tension. That we can be no doubts. Burrows with the corner. Up goal ahead, and it was Brownell's header that met it. And Brownell again, first to the second ball. And that's the beauty of Josh Brownell. He's just first to every single ball. He's just absolutely like a powerhouse. He really is. He's just an absolute, utter powerhouse. You could not credit it. He's that sort of player, really, that will do all the dirty work and will do everything in their power to make sure that nothing happens. And Brownell has been immense. Remember, 15 goals in this championship, flicked on. And now Esteve does really well. He does really well there. And obviously Campbell isn't happy. Well, this is brilliant defending. This is Esteve. This is why he's one of the shooms in for Player of the Year. Good old-fashioned shoulder charge. And there was absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's the match stats. None of it matters. It's the one in the top left-hand corner of the screen that matters, really, as off comes Marcus Edwards, who played his part in the opening goal of the game. And Josh Gorham will just shore things up in the anchormen, the two anchormen role. Go alongside Josh Cullen, I fancy. And two, Jatuinen have been brilliant. This is Zaki. Oh, he looked for that, and the referee's bought it. Zaki's gone down as if he's been shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, and the yellow card is out for Perez, who's got a rueful smile towards the referee, and I think he's got every reason to feel justified in that. Zaki looked for that clearly. Look at that. He's just run right into Perez. Perez can't obviously get out of the way, and that's not a yellow card offence. I'm sorry, the referee's bought that. He's fallen for it hook, line and sinker. And with 67 minutes gone here at Turf Moor, Sheffield United have a free kick they shouldn't really have got. Anyway, Burrows or hammer the take, as those Sheffield United fans behind that goal want to take this set piece. The ball comes in, it was Burrows, it's a poor one. And in theory, justice has been done, because it wasn't a free kick. Brownell leads the charge, 13 to play. Anthony with a shot, charged away. Anthony again. Oh, lovely play, ball pulled back by Cullen. And in the end, Sheffield United had just about the wherewithal to get it away. Esteves the last man back, and he did superbly well. Magnificent. Being rock solid at the back, and the ball over the top, but it's going to run out of pitch. Connor Roberts. What a workhorse he's been. Animals down on the floor. Burnley making a change. And it's going to be Jeremy Sarmiento. And Hannibal, this is ridiculous. Sheffield United, they can see that Hannibal is quite clearly injured, and the likes of Chowdhury should be knowing better here. If it comes to Chowdhury, should just shut up at this stage and let Hannibal just take the applause. McCallum shouldn't have got involved either, but anyway, Hannibal's going off. He's been immense again today, and replacing him is Jeremy Sarmiento. He gets 12 minutes to see what he can do. 9 to play. Chowdhury. Medontic. And again. Chowdhury. This might be a virtual here for Sheffield United, rather. Medontic gave away that penalty and should have been booked in my view. And the ball comes out, shot comes in, and it's wide from Gus Harmer. Well, every Burnley fan, including myself, was holding their breath for a second he struck this. With no need to panic. It was well wide. They look as if they're going to end up in the playoffs. But for us Clarets, it could well be the Premier League if we can hold on. Four minutes to play, and Ashley Barnes is going to come on, and Joe Worrell is also going to come on. Two men that will stand no nonsense in any sort of battle. Two men you'd want in the trenches at a time like this. Josh Brownhill, the skipper, is going off. Give the armband to Josh Cullen. But 2 goals, a brace that could mean so much. Hundreds of millions of pounds. This was the first one saved, and then the penalty. After it was saved, he followed up, and then the penalty. Well, coolest man in the house, wasn't he? Joe Worrell takes his place, and I would suspect Zion Fleming will be coming off for Ashley Barnes. I would presume it's like for like, and indeed it is. Yes, it is Fleming. And big Ashley Barnes back at the club again, aiming to win his 5th promotion with the club, is now on for the remaining moments. There are seconds remaining. There's about 2.5 minutes of the stoppage time, and Josh Loren has won a throw, and he's celebrating as if it's a goal. So near for Burnley, so near for the Clarets. They can drink it in, they can sense it. They're nearly there now. It's that close for Scott Parker and his troops. 1 minute, that's all that remains. 1 minute he's signalling. Burnley have it down by the corner flag, but have conceded a throw. Prayers being offered by every Claret in the land. If Burnley can keep it down that end of the field, the left-hand end of the field, then they've surely done it. They've conceded a throw-in. 30 seconds, that's all that's left to hang on in there. And Burnley will have made it to the promised land, the land of milk and honey, the land where all the big boys will hang out. Villa Park and all that. That's a foul called by Brewster. Brewster can moan all he wants, but it's a yellow card. It's a professional foul. Mr. Webb, who's got 1 or 2 things wrong, and he's certainly got a few right, including this decision. No doubts to book Ryan Brewster for that. Ridiculous challenge, deserve the yellow card. We've played 6 minutes. Burnley know they're nearly there. Brownhill is still already celebrating, but it's not over until that last whistle. Even Alan Pace, look at him. And his wife too. It was a tough job for him in the summer when Vincent Kompany, after a disastrous season last season, up sticks and left for Bayern Munich. He had to get the next appointment right, and he needed Scott Parker. The ball out of play. There were seconds to go. The referee checks his watch. And balls for the end. And Burnley have done it. They're back in the big time where they really, truly belong. Scott Parker being mobbed on the far side there. Fans on the pitch, Trafford and CC a rally embrace. They've kept clean sheets galore, and look at Alan Pace and his wife. What joy for them, and for 22,000 staunch Clarets, for which I proudly number myself one of them. Amazing, amazing scenes, people running onto the pitch. Know what it means to Scott Parker, who after 2 games of the season had lost half his first team squad. They all wanted away. He lost 15 players, but yet managed to build a team that were willing to stay for the fight, the battle, the 46 games that lay ahead for them. And why did they fight? Did they scrap? Did they get vital moments? Of course they did. It wasn't pretty at times, but Burnley have got the job done. 29 clean sheets, you cannot credit it. That's a post-Royal record. And the fans on the field, they're absolutely beside themselves with joy. It's all good-spirited. Scott Parker there is going up to the director's box, and look at Hamza Chowdhury. He's kicking off at the ball boy, and he's got absolutely no right to do that. He's kicking off for no reason. He's absolutely lost his head, and that is detracting from the Burnley celebrations, and it should be all about Burnley, not about Hamza Chowdhury kicking off at a ball boy. I saw it out of my corner of my eye that he kicked off at a 15-year-old ball boy. That is a disgrace. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about this fella, Scott Parker. What a man he has been. What a joy it's been. And look at them two. Worrell and Esteb, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Esteb has been for me Burnley's player of the season, along with possibly Trafford and Josh Brownhill. Scott Parker, what a job he has done. And Chowdhury is still not shutting up, having to be escorted away. He's trying his desperately best to try and mar the celebrations, and quite rightly being ushered down the tunnel where he should be. And I think his manager would do well to just say, shut up and just let Burnley enjoy themselves. Ridiculous from Hamza Chowdhury. But let's forget about all that. Let's concentrate on the positives, and it's Burnley that we should be talking about here. Alan Pace and Scott Parker, a dream team for the ages. And they will approach the Premier League, hopefully not making the same mistakes that Vincent Kompany attempted to make 2 years ago when he bought a whole load of squads and then tried to play open football. And I think Scott Parker, on his arrival, knew that the defence needed improving. They needed to improve technically, and so they did. There were fallouts at the start of the season, but Burnley are there. They've won it. They've won the game by 2-1 and are promoted. Scott Parker makes his way onto the field. He's an hero in every Claret's eyes. And he's taking the claim from every supporter, all 4 corners of Turf Moor. The fans now have got off the field. Joe Worrell, who's not really been used much, really, mainly a substitute. Hannibal is absolutely beside himself with joy. He's played out of his skin today. They'll be popping champagne corks here in the town of Burnley on a fabulous Easter Monday night. Matt Williams there, the operations director. But Scott Parker, considering that he had to turn over the squad that he inherited from Vincent Kompany, there were several players that just didn't want to play for Burnley after relegation. We put them to rights and more. Brought in players that were going to wear the shirt and wear it with so much pride. Players like Zian Fleming, who has stood up, come up to the plate and have really stood up well. He brought back Connor Roberts from Leeds, where he was at loan last season, and how well has he done? Josh Brownell, an inspired choice as captain. And Scott Parker, a shy retiring man normally, is giving it large to the crowd now, fist bumping away, Jurgen Klopp style. It's Burnley's night. Themselves and Leeds are promoted, and Alan Pace will start planning for life in the top flight at the likes of Manchester United, and beating his wits against Manchester United, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Arsenal, Chelsea and Manchester City amongst others next season, and Tottenham too. The Clarets are going up. Official. Hannibal, one of the unlikely heroes, another inspired signing from Manchester United. So as the party continues long into the night, we have to leave it there as Alan Pace and his directors take in the celebrations. JJ Watt incidentally isn't here today, but these Burnley fans don't care. Their team are back in the big time, and they deserve it. 29 clean sheets. The goal ratio was brilliant in the second half of the season, and at the end of it all, Burnley are there. Winners over Sheffield United by 2 goals to 1.